everybody. Welcome back to the Money Is Show. And on this episode, we got a special guest, a guy that has done 3 podcasts. And this is his 3rd episode he's ever done here with us on the Money Is Show. He founded at 17, made his first $1 million, and then founded an incredible company called Pure Water Solutions, which before I even knew him, we actually had all of his water, Pure Water Solutions in our offices today. He's co-authoring his first book out right now with Dan Clark, who's a massive public speaker as well. A diehard sports fan, patriotic, loving, capitalist, has 5 different Lambos right now. Like if you're taking note, that's a cool one. 5 different Lambos that he's coming up with right now. So on that note, you guys welcome Ryan Bowen to the show. Ryan, thanks for being on the show, man.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
3rd one.
Happy to be here. Yep.
Yeah, I just found that out like 60 seconds before we went live that this is your 3rd episode ever. That you've ever been on a podcast. You've been on 2 of our mutual buddies, Dan Young and Jimmy Rex.
Yes, sir.
At both great guys. And now you're on mine. And so at the end of it, we're going to see which one do you like the best so far out of the 3 of them. Because I've been on both of theirs. Okay. And they're both good guys, man. But first of all, let's just talk about that for a second. All your success that you have, massive water company. Why only 3 podcasts?
I didn't listen to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah.
And so my girlfriend, whenever we listened to them, she would put on like people killing each other and weird
like
stuff.
Like murder mysteries.
So I thought that's what podcast was that.
That's all they were.
Right? So that was like 2 years ago, and she'd have on those, and I was just thinking, man, if I ever die, I know how I died because you listen to this crazy stuff. Yeah. And I thought that's just how all podcasts was back then. And then a few of my friends was asking me, hey, you got to get on a podcast, get out of your bubble, because I always do things the old school way. And Dan Young has had my water for many years, and basically
great company too.
Yeah,
Dan's.
And he just kept saying, "Hey, you got to do one." So I thought, you know what, I'm going to go out and try it. I'd never even listened to other podcasts like that. Sure. I didn't want to watch his, so actually with his, I had a bunch of notes with me.
Oh no!
And I walked in, I'm like, so
it's funny, dude.
It's probably something. I probably should go back and watch it now.
Yeah.
Because
That's funny. I can't believe that this is only your 3rd podcast, because when we met at Elevator Night, which is where we first met at, I think I like straight up I think if I'm not mistaken, I literally asked you right then, like, hey bro, you should come on my podcast. Yes. And you're like, okay. But I just assumed that you had been on, with your success, 100 podcasts, interviews. I did not know this was the 3rd one you've ever been on, man. Let's talk about business for a second. You grew up with a single mom.
Yes.
And you said you're the youngest of
7 kids.
Seven kids. You're the youngest of it. Just real quick, what is it? I did not grow up that way. I fortunately blessed and grew up with both parents, mom and dad. What was that like growing up with single mom? Like half the country now has single parents. What was that like?
Well, what's crazy is even growing up, a lot of my friends, none of us had dads. Like it was just weird. A lot of them had been divorced and dads had taken off, different things. But a lot of my best friends, all of us, none of us had fathers. So it was just crazy. And then it was just weird to watch my mother, how hard she grinded. Mm-hmm. Like,
and yours, and again, we don't have to talk about this if you want to, but for clarity, yours was not a divorce.
No,
your father actually,
my dad passed
away when you were 1 year old.
Yeah.
And I think from your mom's standpoint, like what a massive shift that was in her life.
When you'd think she would have moved back to her hometown in Idaho.
With family
close
by?
Because she had 5 sisters that are still in Idaho. Mm-hmm. And she just didn't want to go back to that. I've asked her still to this day, why didn't you go back?
Yeah.
And basically they moved to a small town in Tooele, Utah. Mm-hmm. And my dad he was a mortician.
Right.
But they'd moved there because he was going to start a mortuary at some point.
Right.
And so that's how the whole thing happened. Then he passed and my mom stayed in a small town, little Tooele, Utah.
And raised all 7 children.
Yep, and raised the kids.
And without going too much, you guys grew up very poor.
Well, it was just hard to watch her struggles because it was her, and she worked her butt off. And that's probably why I had a hard time finding, still to this day, finding the right woman, because no one works as hard as my mother.
You have, especially, again,
huge expectations.
Your bar is so high. Because of what your mother did and all the sacrifice and we were talking about it beforehand, like raising the kids, feeding the kids, and then staying up all night to work. I think you said the newspaper and stuff at nighttime.
Yeah, she typed the newspaper
to be
at
a
night.
mom
Yep.
the next morning, and while you guys were asleep, and that bar is set super high.
So-
And it go back to I always try to find like the clues, if you will, for successful people that we interview.
Okay.
Do you think growing up poor, did that drive you to create financial success, or was that not a factor in what was like really pushing you for the financial success?
I think it assisted me 100%.
It did.
Because I think if I was raised with money, I wouldn't have realized how hard. I wouldn't have realized. It was nice to actually have to go earn it.
Yeah. It gave you the drive. The
Yeah, and then still to this day,
Yeah.
I do sit front row everywhere I go because I've spoiled myself and that's what I deserve now. But if we went to a jazz game, we sat on the very top row and we thought it was cool. But it gave you the drive to realize what you really can have.
Yeah.
And I still appreciate every dime I make.
You made a unique statement right there that I think I don't want people to miss, because I think the mental psychology, subconscious, conscious brains, and it's very, very unique, especially when it comes to money.
Yeah.
And you just mentioned something that I think was super powerful, that you said, if I go to the Jazz game now, or the 49ers, Raiders, your fans, you sit on the front row, and then you made a statement that said, because I deserve it. Now that's to me super powerful right there, because I think a lot of people don't grow up with money.
Yeah.
They have this program that they don't deserve it. It's not for them. You know, it's bad. But you just said, if I go to the Jazz game now and I sit front row, and you literally said it's because I deserve it.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? They're saying like, well, I deserve this now.
Well, I think it's definitely earned, but I think with what I've done and the way I've grinded, that's what I will do the rest of my life now.
And for you, you don't have any like childhood guilt. A lot of people deal with guilt when it comes to money.
Yeah.
When they don't grow up with it.
Yeah.
You don't have any that doesn't at least now that doesn't affect any of your psyche right now.
No, I think money is very easily to make. Money is. I mean, if you're not a lazy ass, and
in our country,
and you're like the rest, a lot of the world.
Yeah.
Money it's very easily to be a millionaire.
Uh-huh.
And everything I've ever touched has always equaled lots of money.
Water.
Yeah. Water right here.
Water.
Yeah. Water nice.
On it. So on that note, right there, this is the first show I've ever done where we don't have the money as cups, and we were doing it because it's like, oh, screw it. I don't care about the branding of it. I wanted to show this because this is literally like what you created. Like, this was at my office. I want to back up a little bit into where this idea came from of water, and now it's a nationwide company. But where did this idea come from of freaking water? Because it was already there. Water was already in offices.
Yeah.
With those big, Culligan or whatever they are, 5-gallon, things.
Yeah.
Where did it come from?
Basically, I was at 18 years old. I was a sales rep, and
for a water company or
no? I was a sales rep at a car dealership.
Okay.
So I was selling cars, and I had to be number one once again.
There's that drive.
And so we would get there we open at 9. I'd get there at 7. We close at 9. I'd leave at 11. And on the Saturdays, we open at 9. I'd get there at 7. We close at 6, and I'd stay there till 10 o'clock at night. On Sundays, I'd hide in the parking lot, and anyone that came on the lot, because
so
that's when
funny,
everyone
dude.
comes, I would talk to them and just open up the cars and tell them, hey, I just stopped
And that's
by.
because you can't sell cars on
You can't
Sunday.
sell cars on Sunday
So you would just wait
in Utah.
People would drive by and they stop,
Yes.
probably thinking there's no one there.
If you go by any car lot, big car lot on Sundays, there's always, everyone loves to go there because they don't have to run into a sales guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So I would sit there and just say, hey, I just stopped by. Do you want me to open that?
That's
I'm
so
not
good,
going to
dude.
sell you nothing. I just
So
want
good.
to open it and see if you like it.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would do that. But anyways, I had my dad died once again when I was 1.
Yeah.
And at the age of 18, I found out I was having a child on the way.
Mm-hmm.
And so I really wanted to be a dad. I didn't have a dad, so my whole goal in life was to be a dad.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were selling cars. We was cranking it. We was actually the largest Dodge dealership in the Western United States. Absolutely crushing life. It was awesome. But I wanted to be a dad, and I knew if I was working 7 days a week, I wouldn't know who my kid even was.
Right.
And so a guy came in to buy a truck. He actually was buying a water softener. He sold water softeners, and I asked him how much money he makes, And well, he had to show me because he wanted to buy the truck. So he was making $250,000 a year selling water softeners. So I started thinking, okay, there's some money there. And so he left that day, and that night I walked in and I thought, why would you have this ugly 5-gallon jug
that you guys had at the dealership?
Yeah, that we had at the dealership. So I'm playing at the dealership.
Yeah.
I unplugged the line out of the refrigerator that was running to the ice machine. I plugged it in the back, capped the top, and it worked. And so right then I knew I had the future.
Yeah.
And I thought I would go try it for a year and make a couple dollars and life would be good. 26 years later, we own the largest independent water company in the world, and we're still going strong.
Yeah, it's crazy. You uncovered a lot of stuff there that we could go over, and one is the drive of the long the hours and the Sundays and stuff. But I want to skip over that and go into the idea side.
Okay.
Because I think entrepreneurs, there's ideas and then there's direct action. Mm-hmm. And what I saw in that story as an entrepreneur is, hey, how many entrepreneurs have had an idea of, oh, hey, that's an ugly looking water thing right there, and then don't do anything.
Yeah.
But you had the initiative to say, what if I unplug that refrigerator water line, which probably means you had to move the fridge.
Yeah. Turn it sideways, took me about 10 seconds.
Yeah, and unplug the water source, which probably, my guess, is some sort of pair of pliers to unclamp it, and then pop it in over there, take the water off. Okay, let's talk about ideas.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, do you to this day, are you an entrepreneur that has lots of other ideas or of businesses to go do? Or are you more of an entrepreneur that's like, I don't really care about all those stuff. I'm right here in my lane. I like to be right here in my lane when it comes to ideas.
I would say probably both. But
Okay.
Right now where I'm at, I like that my friends have all these crazy ideas.
Yeah.
And I just get to be the investor behind it.
Yeah.
So I get to be the money guy.
Because you do, obviously, as you know, entrepreneurs struggle with chasing squirrels.
Yeah.
A lot. And that's where I was kind of going with it. And when you do find highly successful entrepreneurs, and we are mutual friends with a bunch of them. You take Aaron Wags, right? Like I don't know anybody freaking better at restaurants than that dude. Like, it's amazing how his brain works inside that world there. You get to play the chasing the squirrel game still, because you are able to tap into all your network buddies that are experts at what they do inside of theirs right now.
And a lot of them want to just grow their company. So we have one, Icon Mills.
Yeah.
And basically they needed money to grow, to do different things. So we put in money there. And then all of a sudden UFC came in right behind us.
Yep.
And they bought in. And now we have other big people that are buying in.
Yeah.
And so that's just one of them. And I'm in over 25 amazing investments right now. Some people will say if half of them hit, bullshit, all mine are going to hit. At least 90% I think will hit. So.
Okay, why?
Because I'm in with the right people.
Okay, is it because of the right people?
I trust the right people, and I think both. I mean,
positive outlook of
yeah,
we're gonna fucking win. Of course, I'm gonna fucking win.
Everyone I'm in with is a winner.
Yeah. I think it's important that you have that winner as an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna win. Like I went on a podcast with Jeremiah, the Bull. I don't know if you know him down there. And he was asking me one of the main ingredients as an entrepreneur. I'm like, you have to be a winner. Like I don't even process the idea of losing.
Yeah.
It doesn't even enter my head. When I go launch something, like, oh, of course he's gonna win. I have no doubt we're gonna win on this. And if you don't believe that, and you're the freaking owner launching it, that will spread out to all your freaking investors, people.
And it's all about the positive vibes, man.
Yeah.
I don't let negative into my life at all. Mm-hmm. If someone is negative, they're out.
Yeah.
And that was hard because I cut out some family. I cut out some different things because I don't allow negative in my life at all.
I think it's one of those biggest secrets out there that I think I struggled with. I don't know if you struggled with that, but I think entrepreneurs struggle with it because a lot of your close friends and family, as you're growing as an entrepreneur, they're negative.
Oh,
they suck.
Horrible.
They suck.
Yes.
Like as a human, you suck, dude.
Well, that's what me and Dan Clark the other day. He's all whenever something happens in your life, big, why we're writing this book, call me, text me, let's talk about it, right?
Yeah.
So, probably 2 months ago, I buy what I consider probably the nicest a state in the state of Utah.
Yeah, beautiful.
Some would say the nicest in the Western United States. It's cool, right?
Oh, it's one of a kind. One of a kind. So it's a mountain. I don't know how to describe it. It's crazy.
It's cool. So I post it, right, on social media, and we had 200 or 300 shares and 7,000 or 8,000 likes, blah, 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 right? But anyways, out of those, that's not the important part. Out of those, not one family member told me congratulations,
wow.
right? All these people who I don't know, have no clue who.
Strangers.
Probably 80% of these people are. I'm sure they're amazing. I'm glad they follow me. But they're telling me how awesome it is, all this, but not one family member told me congratulations. So I was driving to work the next morning, and I was like, I'm glancing at them, and I got a bunch more, people liking it. I'm looking at it while I'm driving. Probably shouldn't be, but I was like, there's not one family member on here that told me congratulations.
Wow.
Right? And I think if I would have listened to that's what I think is wrong with the world. There's a lot of people who listen to their family. Mm-hmm. Our family isn't something that we pick, right? God chooses our family and gives them to us.
You're born into it, and that's where it came.
That's where but I don't think your family wants you to win, man. A lot of them don't, which is freaking horrible. Mm-hmm. And so, but if I would have listened to them when I told my mom, hey, I want to start a water company. She's like, oh, you don't want to do that? I still love my mom. She's amazing. But if I had listened to her, I'd make 50 grand like the rest of the world. But I couldn't do that. I knew I was.
I just read an amazing quote from Denzel Washington, and he said, so much of your family. I'm gonna paraphrase it, but he said, so much of your family will talk so negative about the choices that you're trying to make and the changes that you're trying to make, and when he was saying it, he said they're all gonna talk negative about the change that you're trying to make to break the very generational curses that they chose.
Yeah. And
it's like, dude, I'm the one that was I'm trying to change like our family lineage of how we view life and money and the positivity and all because it all goes in together into a big pot, right? The what you focus on and all that stuff and then you have all the negativity that just pours in. And I think a lot I struggled with it because it's like, oh man, well this is family, this is my high school best friend, whatever it was, right? Mm-hmm. And eventually you gotta axe it.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean you can't ever talk to him again in your life or you can't see him at Christmas, but you gotta cut that cancer of negativity out, and you gotta cut it deep in it, man.
And level up, basically. I mean, that's what's every year it seems like your friends change a little bit, right? Because every year you level up.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to keep going up.
It's true. Even when they're successful, and that's okay, right? We're all different. Some people in business that I used to do business with, we were both growing, and then they got to a point where they're like, I'm good right here, dude. This is, and they made a logical choice. Like they said, hey, this is where I want to be. I want to stay right here. And I wanted to keep going.
Yes.
Which means, doesn't mean I still can't talk to this person because they're still positive. But I had to go level up to new circles, new influence, new people inside of it. I'm going to go back to social media for a second because you were telling a story. And one thing I want people to know about you is you're one of the rare birds that doesn't care about actually social media. Like it's not a thing that you're, or I don't want to say maybe now, maybe more, but it's not something that you're like passionate about. Like certain people, entrepreneurs, like they wake up and they focus on how many followers and likes that I get. And truthfully, you're the exact opposite of it. You actually showed nothing about your life.
If you go back 3 years ago, I had no social media.
Zero. You're like didn't exist almost.
And then and Sean Whalen. I'll throw Sean Whalen under the bus for a good thing.
Yeah.
Sean's like, Ryan, you've got to start getting this shit out there, man. You've got to start getting your shit to everyone. Everyone deserves to see it.
Yeah.
And I was the guy that had all these Lamborghinis and stuff in the garage. And I would literally drive them when people went to sleep. Yeah. Like I'd pull them out and go drive them at night because I was kind of embarrassed that I even had all of that stuff, which is horrible.
Yeah.
Right? And he told me to start using social media, start branding myself. And I'm like, Sean, I don't want to brag. And he says, you're not bragging, just watch what happens. And I started to do social media a lot harder, and it definitely took my whole life, business, everything to the next level.
Yeah, it changed.
And let me meet a lot of amazing people, and it definitely changed. And the good, like the kids, the entrepreneurs, the world, see what can actually happen.
Yeah.
And I started to post my house. I started to post my car. I started to post some family stuff. My family I still try to keep a little bit hidden because I have daughters, but it's changed my life for sure. So I appreciate Sean making me do that.
And a lot of people, part of that thing I think you were struggling with is a lot of people on social media are posting it straight up for the wrong reasons. Like, they're trying to flex when they shouldn't be flexing. They're trying to show off when it's like, dude, it's a rented house and you're just trying to get likes, or it's an Airbnb.
Yes.
And you're just trying to get social media likes.
Yeah.
And that's not where yours was. Yours was, you owned it, you built it, you established it, you created it. And I think what Sean was trying to say there was, you will create more positivity by actually just opening up and sharing, hey dude, this is my house. And I was able to buy this because I did this. I worked 7 days a week at 18 years old. Because that story of you working 7 days a week comes, if you think about it, probably came from showing whatever, the house, the car, whatever it is, because you wanted to say, yeah, but at first I didn't start here.
Oh yeah.
I started over here. This is the part you got to go back to.
People aren't seeing that. Yeah. Well,
and it makes you talk about this.
Water-wise, everyone's like, I'm going to start a water company and be where you're at. I've been doing it 26 years.
Yeah.
It takes a minute.
Yeah.
And then even when I was doing the water at night, I wanted to do something. I got a lot of friends that have been in jail and prison and different things. A lot of people are felons, and people won't hire them, right?
Sure.
Once you're a felon, your life's over.
Yeah, you have like a red scarlet on you.
I've always looked at life different. So I actually had a junk business that I don't talk about very much. I probably should.
Yeah.
But at night, we'd go haul junk.
And do you still have this business?
No, I had it for many years.
Okay.
It was called We Dump Your Junk.
Okay.
And actually 1-800-GOT JUNK copied me. But I started mine 20 years ago, and we crushed it. But what I loved was I go hang out with my buddies that people couldn't hire them, and I could pay them $20, $30 an hour to go haul junk.
Yeah.
And we would go. So I do still have that truck.
Yeah.
Everyone always tries to buy it because it's just an old 1997 badass Dodge 1-ton with a dump bed. Love that truck. Every time I get in, I get a big smile. Turn on old friggin' music but
flashback.
Yeah, but it took time. Everything always takes time, and people don't get that part.
Let's talk about that. That's a key piece of entrepreneurship is patience.
Yes.
Time.
Yes.
Earlier you said it. You've been in water business for 26 years. 26 years. You've been providing. I do want to circle back to this because that's not actually just water. There's a lot that goes into what you have created here.
Yes.
But before we hit what's actually in this water, let's talk about patience.
Okay.
As an entrepreneur, obviously the day and age that we live in, it's like, and even for me, it is probably one of my worst virtues.
Yeah.
Is patience. I don't want to wait 25 years, 10 years, 15 years as an entrepreneur. It's like I want to crank it and go and go and go. As an entrepreneur, how does an entrepreneur establish or help create their patience? How did you do it growing 26 years in it, man?
Well, water-wise, when I was doing water, I was hauling junk at night. I was doing different things because I had to make. I mean, if I'm addicted to anything, it's probably money.
Okay.
Like I like to make money, and I think it's easy to do, but you have to grind. And even all the investments I'm doing right now, right? A lot of them are like, we want to show profit in 6 months. I don't care. I mean, to me, every investment I do is minimum a 2 year. Most of them are 2 to 5 years. And so the first year, I'll watch it, but I don't really study it because things do take time.
Yeah.
Water-wise, I could show someone, if I ever 100% did get out of water, which I don't know if I ever will because I love it.
Yeah.
But I could go teach someone how to run a water business and be profitable in the first probably 60 days. Why? Because I've mastered it. I know exactly what to do at this point.
Let's talk about mastering water for a second. So obviously we have this machine, and I think you said it's one of your best machines that you guys have.
What you have is the Avalanche.
The Avalanche.
Yes.
Machine. I don't know, but my guess is we've had the machine for, I'm going to say minimum 5 to 10 years. We've had that machine.
Yeah.
I've been in this office for almost 3 years now, and I've never seen anybody come service it, work on it. I've never seen anybody even talk about it in our meetings, like as far as like, oh hey, it's not working.
Yeah.
Right. But what's in this water? What makes this water different from your standard tap water?
And first of all, we have been here. We come every 6 months to a year to change the filters and all of that. Most people don't even see us.
Yeah.
I mean, we pop in. We're here for 30 minutes.
I've never seen it break.
Yeah.
Down or anything like like the vending machine breaks or whatever. I've never seen that water machine.
It's the best.
Break.
The best don't break.
Okay.
But the reason why it's the best is what we actually do is we take your tap water. Okay. No matter where you are, whether in Vegas, Arizona, no matter how hard your water is, we take tap, we strip tap down to 0.00 micron. We remove absolutely everything. So you can run mud, cough syrup, anything you want through it. We're going to strip it to where it's just a wet liquid.
Okay.
And then we're going to add back the calcium, magnesium, potassium. Then we're going to alkaline the water, make it identical to the human body so it hydrates you super fast. And so we're always coming with new technologies, different things like that. Of course, the core I started when I was 19 wasn't to this level.
Sure.
But we're always trying to...
Your R&D department now is constantly tweaking.
The engineers that we have are absolutely amazing, and we always want to stay light years ahead of everyone. So in my states, we'll always have the very best product ever available. Once we're done with it, someone might get it, but we always... And then from this one, so this one actually has bullet ice, which I actually like. It holds your drink a lot longer. Some people like pebbled ice. So we have another machine called the Lambo. And that one does little pebbled ice. It's the first pebbled ice machine in the world that does pebbled ice and hot and room in the same machine. No one's ever been able to put hot with ice. And so we just try to stay
ahead of everyone.
Yeah,
I like the bullet ice
better.
I don't chew ice. Some people chew,
a lot of people chew ice. Yeah.
I don't. And I literally, I tell you in my office, dude, I drink this right here. That cup is from my office, and I drink that right there every day in the office. When you were there, they brought me one in, and that's how I drink it because I love the bullet.
And you put some flavor in yours.
Ice. I put flavor in mine.
Flavor does help them.
Yep, just to give it. I have like 10 different flavors, and I drop flavors in it just for fruit type flavors in it. But what I was telling you this earlier, like what's amazing is watching our staff team here, and I think they're addicted to the freaking ice because they bring their coolers and cups and whatever it is, and I hear it nonstop. I mean, it's just because I hear that the dinging and dinging when it hits the can. But everybody in the freaking company brings in their cups and uses the ice for it.
And they all take them home. Which is awesome.
Yeah, it's one of those things as an entrepreneur. Like I never. That's why I love doing the show because you hear crazy ideas that you're like, I can't believe redoing the. I'm not saying this company, but I'm using it as an example. Like Colgan 5-gallon thing would have freaking created this massive freaking company inside of water. Like it's amazing what people do as entrepreneurs and then produce something. And
we get you addicted.
Oh,
so all your employees are addicted
to
it.
They're addicted. That's where I'm looking for.
Yes.
That I couldn't describe it. It's like they have to go get the freaking the machine. Yes. They have to go get the machine.
And that way you're never going to cancel me, so you're going to have me the rest of your life.
Yeah. They use it every day.
Yeah.
Nonstop. They use the machine, man. Inside of it, I want to shift gears and for a second talk about. So before I do that, if someone did want to, if they had a house, office, whatever it is, and they did want to go get one of your machines because you have different sizes, levels, on counters, Irish stands on the floor, where would they go just in general?
Well, they can call me directly.
Okay.
Or if they want to the website, it's hydrateyouroffice.com.
Hydrateyouroffice.com.
And it tells you all the different machines, specs, all that are on there.
And you said call you. Is your main social media Instagram? Is that your main one?
Yeah, Instagram's probably the main, yes.
That you do? And we'll put in the notes as well, but what's your handle?
Mr. RyanBowen. Mr. Ryan Bowen.
Just your first last name, but with Mr. in front of it. Mr. Ryan Bowen on it. And if you do follow him, which you should, for water, or take a look at his house. Because it's on your Instagram, some of the photos on there, man. It's one of a kind.
Thank you.
I want to shift gears here for a second off of business, and I want to talk about manhood.
Okay.
And you mentioned earlier you have daughters.
Yes.
How many daughters do you have?
2.
2 daughters. What does fatherhood mean to you?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. There's nothing more important than that.
It is fatherhood.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like what even to this day, the sacrifice you put into the company. In your head, in your heart, do you feel like there's something that's saying, I'm doing this for them?
Yeah.
Like when you're dead and gone.
Yeah, I would love for them to actually get into the business. I mean, one's 10 and one's 15, and then I have a son that's 24.
Uh-huh.
None of them want anything to do with the business.
Uh-huh.
But the business has made it to where we can have a dang good life,
Uh-huh.
an amazing life together. But we can go anywhere in the world whenever we want. But they know Dad's addicted to, and I got a business.
Yeah.
And so if we're in Disney World, if we're in another country, if the phone rings, I'm going to answer it. If it's 8 to 5 in my states, I'm answering my phone.
Okay.
And so I've never been able to shut that part off.
Okay.
But if I answer my phone, I make $100,000 when I'm on vacation. That's kind of fun.
Yeah.
But my kids know. I mean, I literally snap. If my phone rings, they'll look at me. Mm-hmm. If it's business, I snap my finger.
Interesting.
They know. And the second I'm done, I snap my finger. We go back to right where we was at.
If you're on vacation or on your way driving to school or whatever it was,
yes,
right?
Yes. But if my phone rings 8 to 5, my kids know Dad's going to take care of the phone call, and then he'll come right back to us.
Do you try, because this is something people always struggle with, do you try after 5 p.m. in whatever state you're in to not take the phone calls, to not take the emails?
I'm not perfect with that.
Oh, no, it's a struggle.
I like to make money.
It's the art of the deal.
Yes.
It's the chase. It's the men have the we want to conquer.
Yes.
And it's like that phone call is an adrenaline rush.
Well, I like to blow my customers away.
Yeah.
And I'll answer my phone at 8 at night. They're
Yeah.
like, "Are you really answering?" I'm like, "Yeah, you just called me."
Yeah.
But there is one time we do not answer our phone at dinner. The dinner table.
Okay.
Phones are not allowed.
For the kids either.
For any of us.
Okay.
The phones need to be in a different room.
I was gonna ask you. So
we put them in a totally different room.
totally different room.
We spend dinner time together.
Do you think it's because are you quality over quantity?
Yeah, I want to know what their day was. I want to know what they did. I want to know what they're learning. Who their friends are.
Yeah. When it comes to, I want to say, fatherhood and business now.
Okay.
A lot of people that I see, first generation business owners, it is their dream that their kids do, take their business and run with it and work and grow, et cetera.
Yeah.
2 questions. Number one, was that a dream of yours that you did want that? And you said that right now the kids have nothing to do with the business. Oh, the 2 are younger. How do you cope with them not want to do with your business right now? Was it a dream that you wanted them to?
Yeah, I thought my son would definitely want to be part of it. And that's probably one of the hardest things in my life is, so there's 3 guys that run the United States, right? I run the West, my buddy runs the Mid, one runs the East. Both those guys,
yeah,
the one in the Mid has 3 boys, right? Yeah. All 3 boys work for the water company.
Yeah.
And the one on the East, his son works in the water company.
Yeah.
I have a son, he's in Hollywood and he's an actor. He wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, sure.
So that part, I mean, and we just got back from a award show, right? Mm-hmm. We just won Deal of the World again for probably the 12th or 13th year in a row.
Yeah.
And their boys came with them, right?
To the banquet or...
To the big award show.
Yeah.
And these kids are crushing it. I mean, they're just following Dad, but these kids are making, $300,000 to $500,000 a year, which is pretty awesome. They're 22 to 24-year-old kids.
Yeah.
And they just want it, but their dad's all excited because they're going to end up taking it.
Yeah.
And with me, so far I don't have that.
Yeah.
But it's fine. I mean, my kid wanted to be an actor, so that's what my son.
Yeah.
He played football. Football was a big deal to me. Sports was a big deal to me, right? When my son was 11 years old, maybe 11 or 12, right? So I walk in, I'm the head coach. Our team, we won state every year. Our team was amazing.
Football.
Yeah, in football. Yeah. We did not get beat. We just was the ones, right?
Yeah.
I walk in, I said, football's tomorrow. Sign-ups. He says, Dad, I'm done.
And how old was he?
11 or 12.
Oh, man.
And I go, bullshit. They're not. So I walked in my room, and I sat there and thought, wow, if he's really done, then I'm done. And that was hard, right? Because I didn't have a dad to do that shit to me. Yeah. So I thought, I'm not going to talk to him for an hour or 2. I'm just going to let it go for a minute. Then I'll walk back in. Mm-hmm. So I walk in. I said, you really done? He goes, I'm done. I'm going to be an actor. I don't want to play football anymore. It's like, well, So I thought I don't ever jump to anything.
Okay.
So I gave it 2 days before I called the U Conference football, and I called and said, "Hey, I'm done." And they go, "Bullshit! You win every year.
Yeah.
We'll see you tomorrow, man." I go, "No, we're done. We're done. Me and my son's done."
Yeah.
That was hard. And so I don't know anything about acting. Zero, right? So I went and found different schools and different stuff to put him in because I'm gonna help him. Whatever my kids want to do, I'm gonna be there for him.
So to me, that's like the fabric of America is mothers and fathers, but they play two different roles, right?
Yeah.
But fathers that will do that for their kids. Like I would be in your shoes. Like sports is a big deal in my life, and if my son was like at 11, like I'm out, and we're like good and we're winning.
Yeah,
it's like, oh man, that would be a tough pill to swallow.
Yes,
right. But I think it's what a lot of kids are missing today is a father that's not making him go do something that the father wants him to go do, and allowing the kid to have their own dream, their own vision, and then the dad putting their own dreams and desires to the side and pushing the kid and allowing the kid to go do and then supporting the kid down that road. But you see it's missing all over America right now.
But sometimes, like if I would have had a dad, I think I would have been in the NFL. But I had a mom, right? And she was awesome. We still got into football.
Yeah.
We still played.
But it is different.
But when I was done, I didn't have someone to push me. Yeah. So I kind of wish I would have been pushed. That's why I just want to make sure he was for real.
Yeah.
Like if you're really truly done,
right?
You want nothing to do with it, then let's take the year off. And then the year he never went back.
And at this point, he's 24 now, or 25?
24.
24 years old, and obviously it's what he wanted because he's still in acting.
Well, and then so he went to the University of Utah, and he went to the acting school there. And then he actually graduated right during COVID.
Okay.
And so he went to New York, and New York shut down. Yeah. And he went to LA. He lives in LA, and they're still kind of shut down. So he hasn't made it yet.
Except for the football game, the Super Bowl. Now they can totally
they can make that
open up for 75,000 people.
Oh, it's fine.
No problem. Yeah. But for the restaurant with 8, no, you're done.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a squirrel we can chase. I want to ask you a question. What would you say, looking back right now, has been the hardest lesson that you've learned as a father with your children? The hardest lesson that you learned, not they learned, that you had to learn as a father.
Hardest. Basically, letting them be them.
Let them be them.
Letting them be them.
Yeah, because you have your own dreams and especially as an entrepreneur, right? Entrepreneurs are visionaries, and we always are looking ahead. Yeah. And it's tough, man. To step aside and let them go be them. Especially from an entrepreneur standpoint, man, I could totally see that as a tough lesson. On the kids, as a father, what's been one of your greatest moments as a father?
Every day. I mean, walking in, even to this day, when I walk in from work, just seeing the smiles, them running at you. I mean, I miss when they're little, they come jump in bed and give me cuddles, but my 10-year-old still at night, once we hit about 9:30, she's like, "Dad, is it cuddle time?" I mean, so I'll jump on the couch and we get at least 10, 15 minutes of cuddles. So there's nothing better than that. Nothing better than that. And they live like their inner child. They're just angels. Mm-hmm. Like they love you. Yeah. Like they genuinely love you. And there's nothing better than that feeling.
On business, wrapping this up, before we get to end the show here, in business, every business goes through ups, goes through downs, good times, bad times. COVID hit. Business had a pivot, change, twist. You can look at it as a negative, a positive. What would you say so far in the 26 years of your water business that you've had, building this massive freaking industry? What would you say is one of the biggest hurdles that you had to face as a business owner?
Okay.
And then how did you beat that? How did you overcome it? How did you defeat it?
Okay. Well, there was this bullshit thing called COVID that came out in 2020.
2020.
And when that hit at first, I mean, I thought it was a joke. Well, I still kind of, but we won't go there. But anyways, a lot of businesses, because we go door to door.
Yeah.
My sales guys go door to door.
Door to door.
B2B, business to business.
Yeah, not houses. Yeah.
Or we have a marketing team that makes phone calls to set up appointments for sales guys to come. And so a lot of businesses are saying, you can't come. We can't have no one here. You can Zoom. We sell face to face.
Yeah.
You got to show them why what they have sucks, you know? And so I thought,
taste it, use it.
Yes.
You need it.
Yeah.
Face to face. Yeah.
So I thought, how do we get in every business still with this pandemic going on?
Yeah.
And so I went.
Scamdemic.
Yeah, 100%. So I did some research, and I wanted to find something that they would still want and deserve right now to keep their doors open.
Yeah, so let me pause for a second. So, because I want to make sure we paint the picture. Your whole business is in-person, door-to-door business sales.
Yes.
With your whole staff, team, sales reps all over the place.
Yes.
And now think of COVID, when it started.
Yeah.
You could no longer knock on a freaking business door.
People would be mad when you walked out.
Oh yeah, it was like a huge no in the industry that you go door to door.
Yep.
And obviously at that moment when all that shit went down, that could have been a end of the run or ride
I'll
the
be
wave
honest,
out.
Let's say there's 300 water dealers. There's 3 that run the United States, but let's say there's 300 little people.
Yeah.
Over half crashed.
Yeah, of course.
Right?
Yeah,
over half are gone.
Yeah.
And so what we did was we made the pivot, and I thought, okay, air. Everyone needs air.
And it's a hot topic.
They're so scared of the air, breathing.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And even with water, it helped us, because as you push the button with the 5-gallon jugs, the ugly ones, as you hear gugunk, gugunk, as it's dropping, that's pulling out air, dust, particles, sickness, COVID out of the air, putting it inside your system, multiplying, getting everyone sick.
Yeah.
Okay? So I knew I just had to get in front of people. But to get in front of people, we did air. So I went and found the baddest air system in the world. And the only way I would take it on is if I could be their exclusive dealer for my states.
Okay.
And so we went and found the best air system ever. And we would get in with air and then sell you water and ice while I was there also.
Yeah.
And 2020, we had our best year ever. I mean, 2020, we crushed it. And then in 2021, we crushed 2020.
Yeah.
And so it might have slowed us down for a week, but that week, 24 hours a day, I worked on what I'm going to do to fix this, and we fixed it immediately.
I love the freaking story, especially because COVID is relative to everybody.
Yes.
Like, and unfortunately, it's relative to everybody, because how many freaking small businesses and just humans deal with COVID shit, right?
Well, our air system was guaranteed at 99.9% to kill COVID within 6 hours.
Yeah,
and
the
so
machines that you were bringing in.
Yeah, we're still selling them, but let's say I had my drink right here and I have COVID and I set it down. Basically, within 6 hours, right there is guaranteed to be COVID free.
But what if I have a mask on?
Well, that ain't gonna help at all, anyways. But
what if I have 2 masks?
Well, then you look like a freaking idiot.
Inside of this, I love it because, in business, every business entrepreneur faces freaking tough shit.
Yeah.
Right. And part of the successfulness when you find entrepreneurs is they just overcome. They just fucking win.
You find a way.
They just fucking win.
Yes.
Like whatever it is. Bottom of the 7th, bottom of the 9th, 2 outs. I'm here to fucking win. That's all I can tell you. Like, I don't know what else to say. Like, I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And you have to, I think as an entrepreneur, as I interview all these high level entrepreneurs, they just have that X factor of fuck it, I'm gonna win.
Yeah.
And they don't even, COVID hit, it's all bad. Half the companies are going under. We have made up laws and shit that no one even understands, and the people making them don't even understand them, and they crisscross each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, all of that. Fuck it. I just gotta go win, and it's what you find in that business, like door to door, business. I mean, you were. I was in as horrible as a boat as you were. I was doing live events, I'm speaking on stage.
Yeah.
Good luck with that one during COVID, and it's just the ability to say F it and find the solution to go defeat it, to go win.
We never laid off one employee.
Wow.
Not one employee. So we actually grew. We actually hired.
And you said you almost doubled in 2020.
Yeah, we crushed 2020.
Your business.
And then what we did was everyone quit ordering, right? So all the other dealers across the nation quit ordering product. I ordered 4 times on purpose.
Yeah.
So all these, and then when 2021 hits, everyone's like, "Oh, where's the containers?" I didn't give a shit where the containers were because I had warehouses full of product because I want to keep the world going, man.
Yeah, yeah.
So I had all the product, and then one thing that still helps me kick ass is whenever we start to think, you know what, I think I'm good. I told you my friends hired their sons, right? And these kids are freaking workers. Like most kids these days aren't. These kids are workers. And so one of them, he's doing good. He sold like 600 cores, but that's good.
Okay.
Right?
In like a year.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I can't be beat.
Okay.
Still to this day.
Sure.
And so I sold 850 and so these kids are pushing the shit out of me right now. His kids.
So I want to make sure I say this. When you say that you sold, are you literally saying you still sell the coolers?
Every single day.
Because I know you have sales reps.
Yeah.
In multiple states.
Yeah.
But you're not saying that they're...
Ryan Bowen personally sells every single...
Really?
I also sell all my sales reps. I want them to beat me at some point, I got some damn good reps.
Yeah. You were telling me these 4 that are...
The 4 in Utah are amazing, and then we have a total of 9 sales reps. Everyone thinks we got 40 or 50. We only have 9. My 9 beat every other water company. Yeah.
Yeah, for your states.
My 9 can beat... I mean, there are some companies that have 30 and 40 reps. We beat the shit out of them every year. But my guys get a motivational...
But at Mr. Ryan Bowen is still selling.
Every single day.
Wow. Obviously, you don't have to.
Well, some people do drugs.
Yeah.
I do sales.
Yeah.
And so that's my high. I mean, there's nothing...
It's true. There is an addiction.
Huge.
To that piece.
If I ever went without selling something, I'd probably go sell my car that night because I have to sell something.
Yeah.
And just the rush you get, there's nothing better.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I totally understand what you're saying. But it's very impressive that 26 years later, and you didn't move into a management role. Although obviously you're still managing into it. You manage and still freaking sell and push yourself to outsell everybody else in the company
every day.
That's insane. That's insane, man. All right, let me ask you the money is question. So when it comes to money is, we'll talk about what money means to you. And I heard, and I don't know the answer, and I do this on purpose. I don't want to know the answer because I like the rawness of whatever the answer is. But I did hear you say earlier that you're surprised because no one has said on my wall. No one has said this answer yet.
Yeah.
So my mind. Is very. I'm excited to see what it is. So you fill the answer right here, and then sign it right here, and then maybe you'll talk about what money means to Ryan Bowen. And again, as he's doing that, you guys make sure you follow him on Instagram at Mr. Ryan Bowen, first last name there, and you guys can look about his website called HydrateYourBusiness.com. HydrateYourBusiness.com. I can't believe you freaking still sell, dude. That's so impressive. All right, we have the answer. I don't know what it is yet. Now he's signing it with a John Hancock. You ready? Here we go. Money. That's for Ryan Bowen, founder and CEO of Pure Water Solutions of America. Says money is family. Money is family. And it's funny because we actually spent quite a bit of time talking about family today.
Yeah.
Your children and so forth, and even growing up. You put money as family. Why does it? Why? What does it mean?
Well, money, basically, family. I mean, my family would still love me if we was dead ass broke.
Yeah.
But we can do absolutely everything as a family and earn money. And so my kids have been on sales calls. Every one of my kids have been on sales calls. They know it takes the grind, which the grind creates money for us to do family things.
Money creates, one answer I like is money is experiences. Meaning money has the ability to create experiences in your children's lives, in your mom's life, that you do stuff for her. I do stuff for my parents, right? Money has the ability to create experiences.
Well,
and if you think about life in general, like what is life, right?
Yeah.
And life is really a line of just different experiences that we look back at when we're old and remember, oh, you remember when we did blah. You remember when we did blah. Money has the ability to create all those. Do you remember when it happened? Well, with all your family.
Yeah, but even like with Pure Water Solutions, right?
Yeah.
My mother works at my office, right? If we didn't have a business that created money, she couldn't work there.
Yeah.
And so my mother, I pay her a huge salary, and she gets to work whenever she wants to.
She's probably one of the worst employees. My mom, but because she's
mine's amazing, but I have to do that because my mother actually takes care of a lot of the family.
I see.
And so to her, she feels like she has to. Because a lot of them have done that to her entire life. I'll never take a thing from her. But the money makes it so she can have the family.
And take care of the family.
Yeah. And my kids get to experience whatever we want to because we have money.
Yeah. I love it. And I love it that family is your answer because when you talk about entrepreneurs, man, it's funny because like entrepreneurs are the one unique class of people that will risk everything, work unlimited, push harder than anybody else to have the ability to go spend time with family.
Yeah.
But then they won't actually go do that. You know what I mean? It's like they use it as a driver. But how many times do you see successful entrepreneurs that have no family like life? They don't spend time with their kids. They don't spend time with, they don't give up football and go pursue acting and find acting classes to go do that. You know what I mean? It's like entrepreneurs, they live for this thing of like, I'm going to take care of my family. And then you watch them and the majority of them actually don't. They just use it as a driver that feeds their engine, but not a true engine. You know what I mean? Not a true byproduct. It's sad. It's free. That's why on this show, I try to talk a lot about fatherhood and if there's women like that side of it because I think entrepreneurs are misguided a lot with doing it. Last question for you, man. When Ryan Bowen is all said and done and 100 years old because of the perfected water he drinks. 110.
Yeah.
That kept him alive. And you look back on your whole life and you got family, you've got your own immediate family, children and probably grandchildren by then and so forth. But then you got extended family and friends and so forth. Looking back on life, if people remembered you as one word that represented you, what would you want people to remember you as with one word?
It's simple. Giver.
Simple. Oh man, giver.
Simple.
Interesting. Why simple?
No, it's simple.
I don't know, but why is it simple?
Because that's all. There's givers and there's takers.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
And probably 95% of the world is takers.
Maybe more. Especially the socialist.
I've always just been a giver.
Yeah.
And like that's what before we even started, we was talking about events and Lamborghini events, and I try to do anything I possibly can with the community. A lot of kids, it's their last. A lot of kids have a month to live.
They're born with a disease or whatever it is, and they get the news. They have 30 days to live, and they're 9 years old.
Well, we're gonna jump in the story real quick. I know but anyways, one of my best friends, Nikki Tomac, her son Ryan Tomac was unreal, great guy, right? Wrecked on a snowboard, and so then he had to get his shoulder looked at, right? So luckily he went and looked at his shoulder, and he had cancer.
Wow.
Right?
How old is he?
He was 19.
19 at the time.
Okay, stud. Like if you looked up stud, it's Ryan Tomac.
Okay.
And anyways, he gets cancer and he beats it, right? So then I hire him as while he's going through it. I wanted him to work for me. So he came and worked at Pure Water Solutions, right? So he goes and he beats cancer.
Okay.
Rings the bell, life's good, right? And then he starts kicking butt for us. He's doing good. He had to go get screened every month, 2 months, whatever, right?
Check up on it.
So he goes and gets screened. And his mom, I love his mom. One of the best women I've ever met in my life. He goes and gets screened. Anyways, it came back with a vengeance. And now it went from here to all over his whole body. They says, you've got 30 days to live.
And how was he when he got that news? 19, 20, 20?
Yeah, probably 20 at that point.
Okay, so not just
a year.
So.
A year max.
Okay.
And so his mom calls me just flipping out, just bawling.
Yeah.
And says,
Ryan's
gone. He's gonna die in the next 30 days. I think bullshit. That's always my first thing. Bullshit.
Yeah.
We can fix it.
Yeah.
She goes, we can't fix it.
Yeah.
It's done. So we thought, okay. So I says, meet me at my house. So they meet me there. I says, what's your bucket list? Let's figure out your bucket list, right?
Is this like the first time you kind of did this? Because I know you do it more now.
No, yeah.
Or is this a story that was just one of them?
Well, Nicky and Ryan just meant the world to me.
Okay.
And so, what's your bucket list? His bucket list was to watch the Cincinnati Reds play, right?
Reds, okay.
They never won a game back then. Yeah. So, and I'm not even a baseball fan.
Yeah.
But me and some friends arranged a van for him because he couldn't fly because he's on oxygen. So we arranged a van for them to get to Cincinnati.
From
Utah? From Tooele, Utah.
Oh my gosh.
So they drove there. I flew, met them there, and we arranged for the police to know they're coming. We arranged with the general manager of the Cincinnati Reds to know they're coming, and the fire trucks, all that. So they get to the hotel, fire trucks pick him up, put him on the fire truck, drive him onto the field.
No way.
And anyways, they went to batting practice, all this stuff, made all their jerseys for him. So I had jerseys signed. I mean, unreal.
Yeah.
Put us up in a suite. It was just neat, right? I'm watching the game with him. We're giving each other a high five the whole time. It was like he was good. He was fine, right? And then the game ends, all of that. So then they got to go back to Salt Lake. So I flew back. My nieces are absolutely angels. And so they went to everyone in the town and wrote to all of his friends, why do you love Ryan Tomac? Why do you love him?
Yeah.
So everyone's writing why they love him so much, right? So they make it back that night. They get there and they left this book on the porch for him to read, right?
Okay.
Why everyone loves him. He walks into the house. His mom starts reading him why they love him so much, right? He looks at his mother and says, I'm done. So I'm getting goosebumps. And she hugs him, reading him, and he died.
Wow.
And so at that point, I thought, I want to try to help as many people as I can, families. Not just the kid, but the parents too.
Yeah, the parents, the siblings.
So we do a lot of cool, different things like that.
Yeah. And what's crazy about you is you do that with no publicity. Meaning, and I'm not against this, but there's other companies that create a massive foundation, and I'm for it. That's awesome.
Yeah.
But you just did out of your pocket, your buddies. You hit up your buddies and put it together and figure it out and just go do it.
Yeah.
With no ulterior motive.
No.
No ulterior.
And that's where social media is so big, and branding yourself is so big because you can, like I told you, we did one. We had 2 or 3 hour notice of some parents I didn't know hit us up, and then we had over 300 supercars show up, and that was
in like 2 hours.
Yeah,
to support.
And we do those all the time.
Yeah.
Probably one a month. I mean,
it's crazy.
It's pretty neat. It's sad that this many kids are sick.
Go through it.
Stuff. Yeah.
And you have kind of in Utah, not because you were trying to, just you kind of became the guy that people reach out to when your kid is going through this, and they DM you, text you, whatever it is, and say there's a guy named Ryan that will help you in your bucket list or whatever it is.
That will make the kids smile.
What a crazy
That'll make the family smile.
What a crazy freaking story. Geez, like man, giver.
So that's what I want to be known as.
I love that, dude.
Never took a thing from anyone.
Giver. Awesome, man. Ryan, I appreciate you being on the show, dude. It's been a complete pleasure for me, and I will continue to drink your water and live to 110.
Thanks for having me.
I love the money is family, and I love Ryan Bowen wants to be known as a giver when he's at 110 years old. When it's all said and done, know him as a giver. You guys watching the show, hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you follow at Mr. Ryan Bowen, and we'll see you next time on the Money Is Show.